how did you help like navigate through that, the world standard versus what you knew God was telling you?
And you don't navigate through that until you develop your personal relationship with Him.
Gotcha.
You have to begin to trust more in Him.
That's good.
And that was not a short process.
Right.
That was a continual process.
Yeah. Do you say you still feel like that today a little bit?
No.
Okay,
no.
good. Just at that 30.
Yeah,
that
no.
30.
It went through my 30s
30s.
and then maybe another shift.
Yeah.
In my 40s. But I have found that each decade is another shift.
Wow.
Because I turned 60 this year.
Look at you go. You look so good, Angie.
And 60 is another season for me.
Yes.
It is another season. And I am embracing it.
Come on. I can't wait to get there. Yes. Guys, to my channel, Just Start. Thank you so much for joining me on this new episode. I have the honor and privilege to be interviewing one of the most wonderful, kind-hearted, sweet souls I have ever met. And I really mean that, Angie. I'm not saying that because we're on this team, but I really do genuinely mean this. And I know, once again, we may not have known each other for too long, but it does feel like a lifetime. Like when I know we
clicked.
We did. I know when we first met each other, I think we were at like the Dream Team events. Yeah. And we just happened to sit by each other, and it just felt, natural and easy.
And we keep running to each other.
Did.
Just us doing things.
We did. Yeah. It was so funny how I think we had a small group together. Yep. So that was like, and it wasn't planned. It was just, the Lord kept linking us together. I'll be looking for you, and especially when we have those Dream Team events. So yeah, it's a blessing. And there's something else that I wanted to tell you about. When I first saw you, I was like, God, you got a sense of humor, because you look exactly like my father's mother.
Really?
I am not telling any stories. Even my mom was like, wait. I was like, no, mommy, this isn't grandma. Because you look so much like her. So I think we related.
Look at my family over here. My cousins. What's up, cousin? How you doing, boy? Cousin. What's up, cousin? What's up? Well, I ain't seen you and I don't know where. Yeah.
Somewhere along the line. So I just wanted to put that out there. All right. So before we get started with the questions, I just wanted you to have an opportunity to just tell a little bit about yourself, and if you want to share anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Just, who is Angie?
Well, Angie is the name that everyone calls me who knows me, but my government name is Andrea.
Andrea.
I am a happy-go-lucky.
Yes, you are.
Love life.
Yes.
Love people kind of person.
Yes.
Not saying that I don't get sad, or I'm not sad, or things don't happen, but I strive to have the joy of the Lord continuously.
Yes.
And even when things aren't good, that keeps me going.
Right.
That's
it.
That's kind of who I am.
And you sum that up beautifully. And you're a wife, and you're a mother.
Yes.
You're a career woman.
Kinda.
Slaying the world.
I'm trying to transition out that career. I'm ready to retire.
Who's ready?
I'm ready.
Who's ready?
I'm ready.
Who's ready?
I'm ready.
I understand. So y'all forgive the background noise. We don't want to change the elements just yet, so just focus on our voices. Yeah. All right, so are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so number one, how did you come to know God for yourself?
I was thinking about that, and I was young.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in the church, as a lot of us have.
Yes.
Church. So from my earliest memories, that's all I know.
Mm-hmm.
My whole life, that's all I know.
Yeah.
And so I was always aware of God and what role He played in my life.
Yeah.
So I was pretty young.
Yeah.
I remember being around 8 or 9 thinking that I love the Lord, and what steps do I need to do to be with the Lord or walk with the Lord.
Yeah.
So I joined the church, or I was saved.
Right.
When I was like 10 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was baptized before I was 12.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
And I remember who the pastor was.
Aww.
I remember the gown and going into the water. I remember it being cold, and I remember how I felt.
Yes.
That day, and I'm thinking like, oh Lord, am I different? you know,
am
what
I
does
yours
this mean
now?
in my 10-year-old mind?
That's adorable, Angie.
So I remember, and my mom said she talked about it because she found my baptism so that I can hold on to it. And she said I remember that day.
Yes.
I said, I remember.
That is precious. That is precious. So, number 2, if you could tell your 10-year-old self or your 30-year-old self one thing, what would it be? You could pick either 10 or 30.
It would be the 30-year-old.
Okay. What would you tell Angie at 30?
I would tell Angie at 30, don't listen to the world and the world standards, because at 30, you're still kind of forming your walk with the Lord.
Yes.
Because you're not really grown until you get about
but you
30.
Think you're grown.
You think you're grown at 20. And
Did that go the way you thought it was going to go? Nope.
Have all the answers.
Yes.
And at 30, that's when I got married.
Yeah.
I didn't have all the answers.
Right.
And you would think, since I knew the Lord at such a young age, that my walk would be this. No, it was still growing, still forming, and I would tell my 30-year-old self, don't listen to the word. That part that you hear on the inside, that's really the Holy Spirit talking to you, saying, do this and do that. Because I had people around that age, that time, telling me, you're a career person, you went to college, so you're going to give all that up to be a wife and a mother. And then I was struggling with that when I know what the Lord had told me.
Yeah.
But I kind of struggled with that because I'm thinking the world image of me is
conflict. How did you help like navigate through that, the world standard versus what you knew God was telling you?
And you don't navigate through that until you develop your personal relationship with Him.
Gotcha.
You have to begin to trust more in Him.
That's good.
And that was not a short process.
Right.
That was a continual process.
Yeah. Do you say you still feel like that today a little bit?
No.
Okay, good. Just at that 30.
Yeah,
that
no.
30.
It went through my 30s and then maybe another shift.
Yeah.
In my 40s. But I have found that each decade is another shift. Wow. Because I turned 60 this year.
Look at you go. You look so good, Angie.
And 60 is another season for me.
Yes.
It is another season. And I am embracing it.
Come on. I can't wait to get there. Yes. I love it. What helped you in your most difficult season?
That would be learning how to communicate for myself with the Lord.
Yes.
And people say pray, but it's not just prayer. It's talking in your quiet time, and sometimes you don't know how to do that. You have to figure it out or develop it. And talking to Him and waiting for a response, learning how to hear when it's Him. And is that me, Lord? Or is this the answer?
Yes. That's a big one.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I don't know if you remember that day when we had that small group with the Frugal Fits and Fine. And I feel like she was a prophet that was sitting with us.
Yes. I ran into her at Sunday at church. Yes.
Yeah. And the way she went around that table and was telling each of us about our business, and I'm like, how does she know this? I didn't even say this stuff out loud to anybody.
And wasn't even trying to think about it either.
No.
Oh, come on.
It was like, this ain't nothing but God speaking back and letting us know, like, it's me. It's not you. It's not the enemy. It's me. So, yeah.
And when you think back from that day to this day, you see how some things are manifesting?
It has.
They're manifesting.
It has. The fact that she said, because I was like, I felt like with my family, I had to like dim my light and kind of lessen myself. And she was like, the Lord doesn't want you to do that anymore because that light is going to bring people to Him. Hence this YouTube channel.
Which I love.
Thank you. So I was just like, oh, okay. But yeah, so yeah. Anything for you?
No, she was on point.
She was. I know she said a lot.
She said a lot, but you know, it's just the things I guess that I'm working through now that I remember the most.
Yes,
but
yes.
Kind of that it's going to be a shift. You're not going to stay the same. And although I may be 60, I promise you, I feel like I am growing and being stretched every day. Every series that the pastor does, I'm thinking like, oh wow, yeah, this is like the best one ever.
It is.
But currently, we're in the best one ever.
We are. I love Home Sweet Home. I love it.
And I said that about every other.
I know.
I said,
the verdict, everything that he's talked about so far.
Yeah.
It's been so good.
And this series has been another shift in my new season because I have adult children.
Yes.
And most of my adopted children are. So I have many adopted adult children, and I have nieces and nephews that are adults.
Yeah.
I have been sending each one of them this series.
Love it.
Yes, and I said, you know, this has really blessed me, and I want you to. And I've gotten responses back.
Yes.
So my son has a girlfriend that they are, you know, they've been dating over a year, and she responded back to me, "This is great. I can't wait for the next one."
Yes.
So
that's awesome.
Because
Angie.
so many of my kids and even some of my friends call me for. They call me even though they may be my age. They said, "I need mothering." She said, "I need a mama talk." Especially, I have a dear friend in Charlotte that her mother passed. And when I met her no, it was some years ago. When I first met her mother had passed, and she kind of adopted me as her mom.
Aww.
Even though we're only like, you know, 10 or 15 years
different. Okay, but still, the fact that she saw that in you, that's beautiful. That's that sweetness, Angie. You're so sweet. You're so sweet.
And sometimes I don't solve the problem.
Right.
But I can talk with them.
Exactly.
And know, and just kind of pour back into them.
Yes.
The word that they already know.
Right. That's beautiful.
That's it.
That's beautiful. All right, so number 4. Who has influenced you the most biblically and why?
I thought about this, and I was, you know, going back to my childhood.
Yeah.
And I think it was my family. As I was growing up and developed, my mom, my grandmother, my grandfather, my great aunt, all of them, they were very strong in the Lord.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
You know, we were in church and everything in my life kind of revolved around that. I grew up missionary Baptist.
Okay, now Baptist. Yes. Okay.
That is still in me.
Yes.
And I love my background and you know my roots. I have grown from that, but I do love my background and my roots. But
it would be your family then.
Well, but as an adult, the most life-changing word I ever received was from Miles Monroe. In a church that I was attending at the time, I had personal contact with him, like where, you know, speaking with him one-on-one. Actually went to the Bahamas to go to his church.
Nice.
Have gone to a couple of things, but him exposed me to the word about the kingdom was life-changing. So, I mean, even though I was an adult, that still stands in my mind. It was like a whole shift in my life.
So that was life-changing for you. That's awesome. That's awesome.
And, you know, when he passed, I remember I was going to see him like in the next week or so, because I always would prepare, had a little joke. He had some favorite teas and some favorite snacks and stuff that he liked. And I never forget, like, I was talking to the Lord, like, was it time? I just didn't think I had enough. But
yeah,
I said the Lord knows. But
He does. Yeah,
I was exposed to it, and it's still life changing. I still follow that ministry.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So number 5, what life advice you have received and would pass along?
What life advice?
Yeah.
That I've received.
Mhm.
It would come from my mom.
Yeah.
It would come from my mom.
Yeah.
And some things that she taught me, like as I was a teenager, because she was a single parent. It was just me, my mom, my sister, my brother until I was 16.
Yeah.
And my mom treated me like an adult.
I bet. Yeah. Were you the oldest?
I was the oldest.
That's why. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
As far as how to set up your life, what's important to you. But what she taught me the most was I still model myself after her.
Yeah.
She taught me to love regardless.
That's good.
Even when there was someone in my life, because my father wasn't in my life.
Mm-hmm.
They divorced when I was like 5.
Yeah.
But regardless of what I may hear from other family members or anything, she taught me to love my father.
That's beautiful, Angie. That is beautiful.
And I'm as an adult, then I know that was really something for her to do, to teach all of us.
Because you normally don't hear that. Normally it's the parent kind of bashing the other parent or putting them down in some way.
She taught us always to honor him.
Yes.
We would even do Father's Day. Even if we couldn't get it to him, she always made sure that the next time we saw him, we would have it. And that was awesome of her.
That shows the character of who she is.
Yes.
That's special. That's really special.
She made sure that we knew his side of the family. My
wonderful.
We had a good relationship with them. But the life advice, it would mostly be from my mom.
Oh, that's so good. Mm-hmm. That's so good. So, all right. So, number 6. What kind of things make you the most happiest now?
I love to serve.
Yes,
I do. And this season of my life, I have more flexibility with my job and my responsibilities, especially since moving to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I can model everything around how I want to serve.
Yeah, that's good.
That and spending time with family. Because I am closer to my family now. So I get to go to my niece's baseball games and help my other nieces move into their dorms. And
that's special.
I have grandnephews.
Oh wow, you did. So, I remember them.
So my grandnephews come over, and I can take them to. I took them to the Easter.
Oh.
Yeah. So that, and then being able to indulge in some personal hobbies that I like. Yes. My So Love class, my small group. All right. So
yeah, that's awesome. So number 7, what are you the most proud of so far in your journey?
In my journey, my walk with the Lord,
or just whatever aspect you want to navigate it to.
I'm proud of the growth. I'm proud of my continuous growth.
That's good.
I'm not stagnant, because I know what it feels like and looks like to be stagnant.
Yes.
Because
been there.
I've been like, I don't hear from you. you know what's going on. I'm most proud that I'm continually growing.
Yeah, that's good.
And I still feel like I receive new revelation that, this is something I can change or grow in. So my continual growth.
All right. All right. So number 8, what are some of the most rewarding aspects of getting older?
I think knowing more who you are.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Knowing more who you are. Comfortable in your own skin.
Yes. That's a big one. That's a big one.
Yes. So much, people are saying or people are doing, and my friends laugh at me because I would say, "Oh, really? My heart is not troubled." It's like you know, you do you.
Yeah.
And I love that for you.
Yeah.
My heart cannot be troubled because I cannot stress. I cannot.
Yeah, that's so good. I may have to take that one, Angie. That's good.
My friend's like, "Oh, I know what you're gonna say. My heart is not troubled."
Because that's good. Now that sounds like some life advice. I may have to check on. That's good. Can you recall a moment that you experienced God at work?
You know, it will go back to this same moment, and I don't know why it's this particular moment.
Yeah.
I was in Atlanta. I was I had already graduated from Georgia State University, and I was working.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting at my dining room table doing my bills, and I would say, you know, Lord, it's just not enough paycheck to cover everything. Student loans. It was expensive to live by myself. And,
sure.
And I remember just being like, you know, Lord, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I have more bills, and because that was when my student loans were becoming due, so I had to shift everything.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm just gonna have to trust you, because I just don't see how this is gonna work out.
Yeah.
And I remember, you know, opening up the bills, and at that very moment, I opened up a letter for my student loans.
Yes.
And I don't know how or why, but I got a 6-month deferment where I didn't have to pay my student loans.
That is a blessing.
And right then, everything fell into place. I said, oh my gosh, the Lord answered me so quick. Just sitting at the kitchen table, getting ready to do bills. And I said, I'm sitting down thinking, I don't have it.
You just know you didn't have it.
I don't know what to do. I don't even want to open this up because I already know.
Yep. How much they want. Yeah.
And sitting there doing everything.
Right.
Not only did I pay my tithes.
Look at God.
Paid all my bills.
Look at God.
And I still had money left on to live. I still don't know how.
Yes.
But that at that moment right then, it was pivotal in my life, because I said, you know what? I know that I can trust the Lord. And I can ask. And he may not answer immediately like he did this time, but I know that
he's gonna make a way.
He's gonna make a way.
That's beautiful.
That was, I mean, even at 60, I remember that day, because that changed
everything, huh?
So I know from henceforward,
yes,
you know, I just ask and believe.
Yes.
And it's really about really laying prostrate, you know, before the Lord, and said, you know what, Lord, I can't in my own strength.
Right.
It's all you.
That's it.
It's all you.
That's it. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. So we are at the last one. You have done phenomenal, just so you know. So number 10, how would you like to be?
I want to be remembered as a good wife, a loving mother, a good daughter, a sister. I want to be remembered by how I loved.
Yes, that's so good.
How
Angie.
I loved.
Oh,
because that's how I feel about everybody.
Yeah. No, no, it's so good. That's a perfect answer.
How I loved.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Well, mic drop. That is perfect. Nothing else need to be said. How you love. That's beautiful. So, any last remarks or anything, if someone comes across this video that doesn't know the Lord, what would you like to just pass along to them?
When you have tried everything else and you think that you can do things in your own strength,
right?
It's not going to work.
Right.
It's not going to work. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Even though I was walking with the Lord, I kept trying to pick it up and help God, help me.
That's true.
Just so even if you're not sure, like, well, I don't know about this, you know, try him.
That's it.
Try
That's
him.
It. That's it. Give it a try.
Just what do you have to lose?
There we go.
What do you have to lose?
There we go. That's the biggie. That's the biggie.
Just try him.
Yes. All right, that is it. Thank you so much, Angie.
I love your channel. And
Thank
this
you.
is so awesome. And I am honored to be a part of it.
Oh, Angie. Thank you so much. All right, guys, that will wrap up this episode of The Elder's Perspective with my phenomenal Angie. Thank you once again. So, guys, please remember to cast all those cares unto the Lord. He will sustain you. He will not let the righteous fall. I will see you guys on the next one. I love you, my lovelies. Take care. Bye, guys.